I know I usually only go live once a week. I just almost fell off my desk chair. But you guys were so amazing Sunday that you made a huge impact on my channel, and I think I'm going to reward you guys and start doing a little more. So let's have some backstory. When I was a little girl, I liked horror movies. Still do to this day. Just because sometimes you want to see things just go horribly wrong. And one of my favorite actors as a child and still to this day was Vincent Price. His voice, his mannerisms, his facial expressions. I mean, even his body is usually the type of guy I go for. And for whatever reason, I've always had a thing with guys losing their hair. I honestly have. I don't know why. So that being said, those of you who have been on my Amazon wish list, you have seen that I have Vincent Price's cookbook, Cooking Price Wise. Well, it's true that I've been trying to get my hands on that for years and never gotten around to it. A couple years ago, I managed to run into an old bookstore. Actually, let me fast forward a little bit. So, a couple weeks ago, I was at the library and I found a box set of Vincent Price movies, only one of which I've ever seen. So I sat there and I started binging Vincent Price movies, and one of the nights was a documentary. And it was funny because some of the things in it I already knew, like he had a passion for food. The guy could go to a 5-star restaurant and have a great meal, turn around the next day and have a hot dog and appreciate it just as much. So that being said, he was obviously rich. He collected and sold art. He was an actor. He did voice work, animation, voice animation. I mean, he was rich. And one of the things he did was he collected art with his wife, and he went around the world with his wife. And one of the things he did was if he liked a meal, he would ask to meet the chef. And he would go into the kitchen in these restaurants and he would take notes. And it ended up as The Treasury of Great Recipes by Vincent Price and his wife Mary. Now this book, I wanted, but I didn't want it as much as I wanted the Cooking Price Wise book. The reason is I never in my life imagined that I'd ever see this book. Hey, I bet you are. Yeah, that's really ignorant. I do not have OnlyFans, and this is not going to be a comment video. So if I blow you guys off, understand why I'm blowing you off. And do keep in mind, if you get vulgar, there is a filter. So your comment will be lost and lost forever. So I never much imagined that I would even see this book, let alone own it. I mean, this is a big book. So my next project, and this is entirely up to you guys. As you made the mention Sunday, a lot of you are wondering why there's not a join button, why there's not super chats. I have not unlocked those features. I forgive you. I need the watch time before I can. So that's where it comes up to you guys. I am 2/3 of the way to being partnered. I am 2/3 of the way to being monetized. Hello. See, this message hidden for review. Like I said, if you're vulgar, your message is going to be lost forever and no one's ever going to see it, including me, because I don't care. Fairy tale lady, thank you. You look so pretty today. Hi. I knew you guys are going to do this to me. You're going to distract me. You always do. And I'm not cooking, so it's easier to get distracted. So this is my next project. I'd like to go through this book. Happy birthday, Anaka. I speak English. I apologize. I don't know what you said. God bless you too. Your name is cute. So, calm down, guys, okay? This is my next project. Same as I'm doing with the D&D. And another thing, I've been thinking about it. Oh, thank you. Yum lasagna. Yes, I have my Garfield shirt. Trump 2024. All right, all right. I speak English, guys. You are a good person. Thank you. I appreciate that. Hi, Charlie. It's my dog's birthday. Tell your dog I said bark, bark, yip. So this is my next project, and I would really like to go through this the same as I am going through the D&D cookbooks that I got for Christmas and my birthday. I love what I'm doing, and I don't know if you guys like my cooking, because I know this is a food-based channel. However, we have kind of crossed into gaming a bit. So, I am going to try to attempt to bring some Dungeons and Dragons to the channel. I was actually up, I'm running about 2 hours of sleep because I was writing down a whole new homebrew. And please flash for 800. Okay. My PayPal and my Cashapp are both in the description. Go for it. Hi, Coco. Beautiful teeth. Thank you. I hate my teeth, so I like my gap. I look like Arlene from Garfield. So that being said, I might try to bring a new. Thank you. I love this shirt too. I might try to bring some more to this channel. I might try to bring some more happy birthday. I am going to try to bring some Dungeons and Dragons. I might bring some tabletop gaming. We're going to see. But it's up to you guys as well. So what I want to do is I do want to start going through this book. And I'm actually going to start going through it right here, right now, and blow you guys off. Sorry, love you. But let's try to have an actual video today. But the thing I need is... I was wondering if you could give some advice to girls that keep laughing at me saying I'm fat and ugly. What should I do? Okay, I gotta stop and read this one. What should you do? You own being fat and ugly, honey. Usually the people who are trying to take... Okay, yeah, we're not going to do that kind of ignorance, okay? Usually when people are making fun of you, it's because they're jealous of you. And what you got to do is you got to forgive them and you need to pity them. Because the only way they feel better about themselves is tearing other people down. Is this a cooking recipe book? Yes. I know it's backwards on the live stream. When it gets to the replay, it'll be right. This is the cookbook written by Vincent and Mary Price. He wears a crown. So, when people bully you, are you fat? Maybe you are fat. But here's the thing about being fat. You have more curves. You have more cushion for the pushing. You can bear children better than them. Maybe you can't wear that top as much as you like, but you can do more. What if you're skinny? Then you can wear anything Cher did. My blessings are always with you. Thank you. Are you ugly? I don't know. Maybe to them they are. Maybe they have to see you as ugly to feel better about themselves. Point is, if you don't like what you are, if you don't like who you are, change it. You can change anything at any time. I mean, save $15, go to the cosmetology school, and get whatever done with your hair. And if you don't like your hair, go buy it. There's plenty of urban hair stores that you can have your hair do anything you possibly want. You can wear any kind of makeup you want. I forgive your ignorance in that statement because obviously you are very ignorant in what you're saying. You have no idea what is going on in people's body. Try to cook any Indian dish. Yes, I have cooked Indian food before. There is a video somewhere in my channel where I made curry out of basically scratch, and I had no idea ever eating Indian food. I don't have any money to hire you right now, otherwise I might. So, this being said, fat is bad though, and even talking blah, it's bad overall. Yeah, that's very ignorant because to a point you do need fats. Um, Tell you what, I want to see a 300-pound person and I want to see a 95-pound person go into a tree in a car at 35 miles an hour and see which one comes out better. So there's a time and a place for everything. Don't be ignorant. So, that being said, can I have a shout outs? Nether Tater the Later. Hi. So, that being said, food costs money. As a lot of you guys know, food prices are rising. We actually just went to the store today, and I forgive your ignorance again. We're going to go ahead and drop it and move on because we've already seen that you're ignorant. It's Nader Tater the Later. Okay, I think I got that. So, with that being said, I went to the grocery store today. Eggs are $5 for 12. That is ridiculous, okay? If I'm going to do this the way I want to, and the way I hope you guys want me to, the Tater. Okay, hi Tater. It is going to cost money. So, yeah, pork is really cheap. I've noticed that. Not later, Tater. I apologize. So, I haven't unlocked Super Chats yet. I haven't unlocked the join button membership. My brain just went bleh. So, that being said, I do have my Cashapp, my PayPal, and my Amazon in the descriptions. So if I see this through, and you guys want to see what is in this book, thank you. Garfield is my favorite. It is going to take donations from you. EmberBurnsBlack in EmberBurnsBlack in Cashapp and PayPal. First thing we're going to try to raise is the $150 to replace my radiator so I can shop when I need to and want to, so I can start presenting this to you guys. That being said, let's go ahead and crack this baby. And it's beautiful. This is actually, I found this at a thrift bookstore. And when I walked in, I was thumbing through the cooking section, and the woman said, "Are you looking for anything?" I was like, you know what? I am going to watch the debate tonight. Yeah, those of you who are American, the debate is tonight. So please, please, please watch it. So I was in a used bookstore, and the woman asked me, "Are you looking for anything?" And I was like, "No, nothing in particular." And then, nothing right now. I haven't unlocked how to make money yet. Came to me, and I was like, "Do you have the Vincent Price cookbook?" And I was thinking, cooking price Raj. I think it's only like 23 pages, and it's a cookbook that he wrote, and he had fun doing it. And she goes, "I've seen it." Well, we're thumbing through the store, and a half hour later she comes back and hands me this. This is a $400 book. And I got it for $15. So this is, when it says treasury, it is a treasury. So let's crack this baby. Herbs and spices, 1/3 to a 1/2 teaspoon dried equals 1 tablespoon fresh. Thank you. And then it goes through herbs, anise, basil, bay, chervil, which I've never even heard of, chives, coriander, which I actually heard something really cool about coriander. It's supposedly the seeds of cilantro. I didn't know that. Cumin, dill, horseradish, marjoram, mint, mustard, parsley, rosemary, saffron, sage, savory, sorrel. Again, I haven't heard of that. Tarragon and thyme. And then they have listed on here with the herbs, everything those herbs are used for. Fine herbs, a combination of chopped herbs, usually parsley, basil, chives, and chervil, which I think has another name, added to omelets, sauces, creams, and soups. Bouquet garni, a combination of herbs tied together in a cheesecloth bag and put into soups, stews, and ragouts. Typically 3 sprigs parsley, 2 sprigs thyme, white part of 1 leek, and a celery stalk. Manage your hair properly. I should. I really should. Oh, I saw you retracted that. Are you sorry for that? Anyway, you're more than welcome to buy my conditioner. My Cashapp and PayPal are both in the description. EmberBurnsBlack, so you're welcome to contribute, and I thank you in advance. What am I doing? I am reading a book right now. Spices, allspice, cardamom, which I've actually just started using. I discovered it a while ago. Actually, I don't think I bought it, but I found it after I made the recipe that needed it. Cloves, curry powder, ginger, nutmeg, pepper. And then it's, a blank page, a treasury of great recipes. To many hands in many lands, our home is the achievement of many hands laboring with love to make it beautiful. Our table reflects the many lands we have traveled and the hands that fed us. We thank them all for enriching our lives in so many ways and hope that through the pages of this book, we may enrich yours as well. You look much like my girlfriend. Could you be twins? I'm the only child as far as I know. So, introduction by Cleveland Omri, which I'm not even sure who that is. I first met Mary and Vincent Price many years ago on a trip to the West Coast. You'll love them, I was told. They've never gone Hollywood. I soon learned that this was indeed true. Although Mary and Vincent are of Hollywood, they were very far from being from Hollywood. But I also learned that Mary and Vincent did not look down on Hollywood, although this would be easy for them to do. Vincent is, after all, 6'4", and Mary is statuesque. Neither of them look down on anything or anybody. They know that they owe to Hollywood their fame and fortune. Vincent is a brilliant actor and Mary is a brilliant costume designer. And they are grateful to Hollywood, acknowledging at the same time the fact that Hollywood can never be their be-all and end-all. In fact, it was never for them even in the beginning. Vincent is a St. Louis man, a background which gives him both geographically and culturally an almost ideal perspective, part Western, part Southern, and part Eastern. As for Mary, her background is British, which gives her even more objectivity. But if Mary and Vincent did not look down, neither do they look up. They meet you evenly without pretense or show. And upon this firm base rests the very special quality, of which my wife will shortly tell you more of their truly inspirational entertaining. I should like to say a word about another quality of these highly civilized human beings, which to me seems most special of all, their humor. Whatever the situation, the Prices live with humor at all times, particularly under pressure. Courage has been defined as grace under pressure, and I think that this is a fine definition, but the singularity Price quality is, I think, humor under pressure, sorry. Let me give you two examples. Once during the 50s, at a time when the stock market and all the Price's Hollywood friends seemed to be doing well, one of their well-doing and well-meaning friends took Vincent aside and told him he really shouldn't be buying art. He said, "Be sensible and put his money into stocks and bonds." "Should I?" Vincent smiled. "I've never heard of anybody jumping out of a window because Rembrandt went down." At another time, at a Hollywood tour to their famous house, a particularly irritating tour lady pointing crossly at one of the pictures. "What on earth," she snapped, "do you call that?" To this Mary and Vincent replied, almost in unison, "We call it," and they said politely, "We like it." Vincent called his famous book on art, "I Like What I Know," which in itself I think is not only a memorable answer to modern art criticism, but also to why a Price cookbook. The reason is simple. The world knows the Prices for their artistic and designing abilities, and their friends know them as highly skilled amateur chefs and talent concierges of fine cooking, indeed experts in everything associated with fine food and dining. Here are the dishes then collected from all over the world, which the Prices have liked cooking and eating, and which they serve their own special "we like them" friends with their own special "we like it" verve. You can never be sure at a Price dinner party what you'll get. You might sit down in anything from gazpacho to gumbo, but you can't be sure of one thing: you will like it. So another introduction is by Martha Hodge Armory, which I think is Cleveland's wife. I'm going to need to grab a bottle of water here in a minute. I apologize. Taste is everything. I believe the touchstone of the individuals in everything Mary and Vincent do is individualistic, beautiful, amusing, and yet simple. When I say simple, I mean uncluttered, unpretentious, and spontaneous. Nothing is done to impress or bowl you over. It is done because it is their way of living, their home, continuous education, which they genuinely share with their friends and visitors alike. And when you walk into the vibrant colors and the works of art of many eye surprises, the subtleties are beautifully coordinated and all have an air of balance and perfection, which you realize, of course, didn't just happen. But none of the feeling of the righteousness of it all are the wondrous good taste, diminishes warmth, which make it homey for their dynamic daughter, Mary Victoria. Two people poodles named Prudence and Pasquale, and a plain personality mutt named Joe, all contribute to the characteristic and intangible way the general gaiety and vitality of the family and home. An invitation to dine with Mary and Vincent conjures up the feelings of excitement and anticipation of real adventure. Vincent, with his enormous, overflowing charm, greets you at the door, and at his side is Mary, gracious and twinkling, but calm and cool. To no breathless, hectic, excuse-making hostess, she for all is planned and ready. And you feel they are looking forward to an evening eagerly as you. They are true professionals in everything associated with excellent dining. Mary has even been known to gold luster a complete set of dinnerware in her own kiln for a particular occasion. I remember after one evening saying, "What a memorable, fabulous occasion. Where do you get all your ideas?" Vincent smiled. "From Mary, of course." He said no. Promptly countered Mary. "That's not true. I get as many ideas from Vincent as he gets from me. Let's just say the ideas were there and we didn't want them to get away, so we married them." And here at last, all the wedded secrets collected between the hard covers, like nothing else Mary and Vincent's. They, too, are unique and unpretentious. I think the chat died. Woo! Woo! That or you all left me. I don't know. So anyway, overleaf. Art and nature combine to make a still life in our entrance hall. What says welcome to our guest. The painting is a late 17th century Neapolitan, the food and assortment of cheeses from all over the world. Celery in our baby's silver christening cup. Crisp English biscuits, fresh fruits set off the cheese, and full-bodied shenanigans to cast a mellow glow over the evening. Simple foods artfully presented. That is the keynote of our hospitality and this book. So, and here's the painting that he is talking about, which is beautiful. And apparently that hung in their home. So, famous specialties of the world's foremost restaurants adopted for the American kitchen. Before I get into this, excuse me a minute, I'm going to go grab another device and a bottle of water. I don't know if I can get past the light cord. Woo, why am I so short? Woo. Okay. That's funny, I actually stuck that there in case it closed and it didn't. So let's see what's going on over here in case the chat died. Because that did happen one time and I do apologize for that. To be completely fair, I don't know what I don't know. So if you guys are talking and I look up and don't see anything, I don't know. So let's pull up this live stream. Okay. Yes, the chat did die. Reach up, reach down, spin around. Okay. So I do apologize. Shout out, please. Hey, Savannah. Let me scooch this over here so I can watch the chat. I'm sorry that sometimes we do have technical difficulties. That is a part of live streaming. So this recipe covers, this book covers recipes from France, Italy, Holland. Oh, wow. Whoa. Scandinavia, England, Spain, Mexico, United States, a lot of United States. Okay, I just saw that I went down. I apologize. So then the typical table of equivalents, calorie chart, favorite wines, favorite recipes, index, herbs and spices, front and end, weights and measurements. So I was going over the herbs and spices in the beginning, and they are not on the back. Those are weights and measurements. So, oh, okay, weights and measurements, back end, and herbs and spices are front end. So we've already gone over the herbs and spices. I wonder. Live chat. Okay. You ever eat a Snickers upside down to get the veiny texture on your tongue? I don't like Snickers. I like Musketeers, Three Musketeers, which has the same thing, and I never have, just because what's the point? Illustrations, front piece. So he also has a list of all the illustrations and, of course, artwork in his book and the states that they come from, which is awesome. So the very first picture in here, that's a good picture. I like that. I really do like that. That's cute. And then another one is, it looks like him and his wife in their kitchen, and that looks like a beautiful kitchen. And again, guys, I don't know. I never imagined I'd even see this book, and I own it, which is amazing. So an invitation and a promise. Come to our kitchen is an invitation we extend to all of you reading this book. It is an invitation which has been extended to us in many languages and many lands by some of the world's most famous chefs, and many an obscure one too, in great restaurants and quiet little bistros, in one of England's stately homes, and even in one case in a museum. Our treasury of great recipes has been lovingly collected from all sorts of places wherever in the world we have enjoyed good food. For gourmet cooking is where you find it, and connoisseurs of the culinary arts are found wherever there is good eating. It is not only in Europe, it is not always in the grand places, nor is it necessarily exotic or expensive. The finest foods, like the best of every arts, is simply a matter of excellence of preparation, imagination, and performance. The purpose of this book is to invite you to dine, wine, break bread with us, to partake with us our favorite dishes gleaned from kitchens all over the world. We have gone straight to the source, to the great chefs, and to those dedicated to seeing it that the world eats well. Mary and I have accepted not only their invitation to eat, but also the challenge of trying to find out what we were eating, why it was so good, and how it got that way. Behind the scenes, we've met the alchemists in tall white hats who have initiated us into their mysteries. So far, they've been wonderful to us, and not a skillet has been raised to hold Dinjan when we invaded their domain. Somehow it has gotten around that we are collectors of everything. All the arts, folk art, decorative art, fine art, and the art of enjoying food and preparing it. Let me actually close my tabs here, because it is kind of freaking me out that no one is talking. And my tablet's lagging, of course. how do I... There we go. And I'm going to close that, pull up YouTube. When we come back home from any trip anywhere, tilt. When we come home from any trip anywhere and we try to bring something from a place with us, including menus of restaurants and recipes, sometimes there has been an aspect of a place that made us feel we could do something more to decorate our house when we have returned, to remind us of that place. Or there come a day, oh, there it goes. Or come a day, I lost my place. When you got home and it occurred to us how lovely would it be if we could have a meal such as the one we had in that tiny old restaurant in Spain. Then we would have fun cooking it and telling our guests where we first had it and how ours was different. Maybe we would serve it on dishes brought home from our trip. The whole thing was a wonderful, glamorous recreation of the experience. And that is what we really want to try to do for people with this book. So in the pages, you will see how we have brought home treats for the eye as well as for the plates. It is comparatively easy to hang pictures and place objects, but recipes literally take some doing. And so we did them. Over the years, we did them and did them and did them again. Mary is a marvelous cook, Vincent. Vincent is a good cook too, Mary. Until the last of the results are delicious as our memories are the originals. All those irritating measurements, strange ingredients, and complicated procedures are now geared to the American kitchen, to its equipment, and to one housewife with only 2 hands and a husband who loves to dabble in the kitchen. Together we have tried out on our friends and on each other all the good things we've eaten at home and abroad. The famous and the offbeat recipes have been translated or adapted, if you will, for use in the home kitchen, your kitchen as well as ours, we hope. Now for that promise, we intend to keep it. We would like to assure you that the recipes in this treasury are, the most part, never grand, not too difficult, and well within the ability of the budget to achieve. So we hope you will accept our promise that this book's first premise, that you can be a memorable host or hostess by learning to create extraordinary food in attractive settings for it. The recipes, suggestions, and photographs in this book are designed to help you do just that, we promise. I'm good. Thank you for asking. So, the first place they visit is France in this book. Tourists, like armies, travel on their stomachs, and one reason that France rates so high on the tourist attraction is very probably because she feeds us so well. Obviously, the French love to eat, and therefore they have learned to love to cook. It is pretty hard to eat badly anywhere in France. Small villages, big cities, provincial towns, famous restaurants, or obscure bistros, wherever you go and could always count on good food. Right after the war, Mary and I bought our fifth-hand little car and drove it up and down across France to prove the point that's true. Today, with the post-war restrictions eased, it is even truer and, sad to say, much more expensive. The little table d'hote with a vin d'or, I don't speak French, I apologize, is a thing of the past, but apparently as long as Frenchman has money, he puts it in his stomach and gladly. A couple of years ago, after 6 months' stay in Rome, we took off a week to eat ourselves out of shape in Paris. Mary was pregnant and found that she had a yearning for only Chinese food. Darned if Paris didn't come up with a half dozen top Oriental restaurants. Still, to eat Chinese food in the capital of France is about on par as dropping in on the Louvre with just to buy postcards. You'll get what you went for, right? After all, right? But oh, what treasures you will have missed. In Paris, you can eat with elegance and even grandeur, but the really classic French cuisine is simplicity itself. It depends upon the quality of ingredients and painstaking care in their preparation. The result may be perfect consommé, a superb chicken gently cooked in its own juices, thin pancakes, puffy soufflés, but everything with its own pure flavor and marvelous texture. Even a ham sandwich at a little bistro is perfection. A slab of pink ham tasting ham placed between two halves of a small crusty loaf that has been spread with sweet butter. The point is, whether you dine at one of the fabled restaurants in Paris and pay a fabulous price for the experience, or an inexpensive little hole in the wall, you will eat food that has been well prepared. The French are serious about their cooking, and that's what makes it such fun to eat there. They are scrumptious in the way they treat God given gifts of the field, stream, vine, and barnyard. Whether they Rather than waste a shred of precious food, they put it into their ingenuity to work a dream and dream up a masterpiece made from bits of this and that. Everyone has their favorite French dish, but the first thing I look for in a French restaurant is pate mason. A second is the sauces. Sauces are the secret of French cooking. The pate, the secret of the house. In the little country restaurants, you can get the most marvelous little turnovers filled with pate. Maybe they toss together a few anchovy fillets, a bit of leftover ham, some herbs and egg, some brandy or port baked in a mixture, and a little crushed, and, and voila, a memorable morsel. The country restaurants of France have a great charm, but more than that, many of them have great chefs. It is an it is every chef's dream not to go to heaven, but to find a haven in the French countryside where he can quietly exercise his genius. Some of France's most famous chefs are tucked away in little villages, towns, and running small country restaurants where they are rustic and unpretentious, but their food is legendary, and a steady stream of pilgrims, both from France and abroad, beat a path to their door. You will understand why when you read some of the recipes in this section. Read them and drool. Hello. So, how much further am I going to go? I don't want to get into any recipes because obviously I'm not cooking anything yet. But this is the restaurant De La Pyramide. Just say Pyramid to any Frenchman who cares about food, and then sit back and listen. One and all, they will tell you that without question it is the greatest restaurant in France, which is perhaps another way of saying the greatest in the world. You don't often find an unmet opinion among Frenchmen, so that in itself is a clue. Then each person will tell you, as though he were revealing an old love affair, about some remarkable meal, some perfect dish that he had once had there. And sooner or later you feel that you have to try it yourself. Now, this temple of gastronomy, I can never say that word, is located in a rather drab little town called Vianney, halfway between Paris and the Riviera. There is not much reason to go to Vianney or even stop over except to enjoy the gastronomic experience of a lifetime. The town has been plodding along since the 1st century BC and was once one of Julius Caesar's Roman colonies. On your way to the restaurant, you will pass a tall pyramid standing on the base with 4 arcs right in the middle of the street. It once marked the center of a Roman circus where chariots were raced. Today, traffic slows here for much of the heading for the restaurant nearby, which took its name from the old Roman landmark. The Pyramid is a small, neat country house set in the quiet garden behind a high wall. A sign on the gate simply reads, Fernet Point Restaurants here. But most people who pass through the gate are well aware that Fernet Point was one of the greatest restaurateurs of the century. His ideas about gastronomy have influenced much of fine cooking of our day. It was Point, for instance, who first insisted the great food must be pleasing to all senses, taste, smell, sight, and even touch and sound. His china and glassware were chosen to please the eye, but he also paid attention to the clinking sound his plates and goblets made. In some restaurants, the crockery clatters, In the pyramid, so help me, it seems to have a musical tinkle. The table linens are spotless white, and their freshly laundered fragrance adds to the pleasure of country dining. In the spring and summer, tables are set out on the terrace under the trees where you lunch in the cool shade. The setting has been carefully designed to complement the pleasures of dining. The sunny garden beyond is a sweep of neat lawns surrounded by flower beds and gravel walks, all very simple but elegant in its perfection. And that is the secret and classic Grande cuisine for which the pyramid is famed. Their food is not only fancied up unnecessarily, the original flavor of each dish is artfully enhanced and a great deal of. I just reconnected. Guys, I apologize. I'm sorry, I don't know what you missed. Is simple perfection. This kind of cooking can only be done by a master chef, an artist, a Rembrandt among cooks. Madame Point has never allowed her late husband's recipes to be published, but she was very generous, gave us three of Fernand Point's most famous creations, written out so that we could understand them. Believe me, it was a proud moment for the Prices and we were delighted to share it with you. When we are in the mood to recreate that heavenly lunch at the pyramid, we get to work with one of these recipes. To do them all in one sitting would be a bit beyond us. The results are delicious, reminding us all over again of the memorable afternoon at the pyramid, in much of the way of the good reproduction we can awaken in our memory of the original Rembrandt. So the bounty of summer and the genius of Master Chef result in a treasure-laden table set in the quiet garden of the pyramid. Fresh from the book, these trouts are stuffed and sauced according to Fernand Point's great recipe. Beautiful to look at and beautiful to eat. And here is the picture from the pyramid. Look at that. I mean, if you can see beyond the glare. I mean, it's beautifully made. So from here on, there is a paper in this book. Why is there... Oh, wow. This must be from whoever owned it before. She actually wrote down the recipes that she wanted to make. I don't know who owned this, because there was never a name in this book when I bought it. Here is... I don't even eat seafood, and this looks gorgeous. Just the fish on that plate. And then here it looks like a menu or a signed menu from the restaurant. So from there on, it goes straight into a legit cookbook where everything is sectioned off and no space is wasted. So this is actually, where are you from? I'm from the US. There is a bookmark tucked somewhere in this book. I can actually see the cord up here. Trying to find it. And I have found it. Yeah. I don't much like beans for that reason also. Here's the ribbon. The ribbon is going straight to this. And we will be saving this for when we get to this project. Like I said, guys, this project, if I get into it, or as soon as I get into it, it depends on you. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. I love and appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for making the changes in my channel that I've been looking forward to for years. If you guys want to see me continue with this book, it is going to be, right now, the first step will be getting my car fixed, which the radiator cost about $150, parts and labor. Thankfully, I found an awesome mechanic who is actually looking forward to working on my car. Apparently, Buicks are fun. So, that being said, and I trust him, so it's not going to be like Pennington Autos, where my brakes went out the very day I got the car back. That being said, remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you want to see me move forward EmberBurnsBlack is my Cash App and my PayPal, both in the description. If you want to see me expand, I also have my Amazon wish list, and which would be easier, the other Vincent Price cookbook is on said wish list. So I will see you guys later this week. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Thank you. Bye now. How do I stop? How do I stop? Oh, I hit that button.